Happy New Year, everybody. Today is December 31st, 2025, and it's fixing to be midnight where I am. And my name is Jennifer, and welcome to my channel, Perceptive Truth. I really like to get into medical astrology, spirituality, and I just want to say thank you for being here with me today. So, I have been thinking a lot since it's literally going to be midnight in about 30 minutes for me. And January 1st is coming in. I've really been thinking about the conjunction with Saturn and Neptune on February 20th. It is going to be conjoining together at 0 degrees Aries, and that has never happened before, at least in our recorded history. Um, so Saturn and Neptune have conjoined in Aries before, and I don't have the information right now because it was not really something I was wanting to get into exactly. Um, but I really just wanted to talk about what does it mean when something is ushering in at 0. Um, when it holds nothing, it's not anything. 0 is nothing. So, but it's also the beginning, and it is something that has been weighing on my mind, not in a bad way, but just making me really think what might be happening soon. What might we be experiencing collectively? And I have my notes. So, Neptune is going to. So, we already had experienced Neptune in Aries this year during the summer. And wherever it is in your chart, you might have already gotten kind of a little bit of clues as to what Neptune in Aries was going to do, as well as what Saturn in Aries was going to do. Because even though they were like in conjunction, but they weren't at like a 0 degree orb in conjunction together, which is what's making this different this time in February of 2026. Uh, Neptune will be in Aries for about 14 years, and we are coming out of Neptune being in Pisces for about 14 years. And like it's really interesting. I don't know, like it's one of those things where we collectively decided, whether you believe in this or not, but this is how I believe. We collectively decided to be born now, to be going through what we're going through now, so that we can usher in something brand new. And it's just, I don't know, it's exciting, it's scary, and I'm there with you if you're feeling those things for sure. And even as an astrologer, I don't really know what's going to happen. I'm kind of excited, and I get a little bit of butterflies in my stomach too, because I'm like, oh, what's going to happen? But we've been through a lot already, and I know as humanity and as a collective, we can get through it. And it's just, I don't know. It's been a wild year. And I really hope that 2026 brings in something better, something different. Um, let's see. Yeah, so I wanted to just kind of touch on Neptune a little bit. So, Neptune in astrology is the planet of fluidity. it has no boundaries. It's open to whatever comes in. it it rolls over like substances, liquid. It rules over fantasy and spirituality and intuition. And I always like to think of Neptune as like your personal magic planet. Wherever magic wherever Neptune is, that's where your magic lies. Kind of from a different realm. And so Saturn, of course, is the exact opposite of Neptune. Saturn is absolutely boundaries, absolutely everything that makes you responsible and having to work hard for things. Saturn is the greater malefic. So if he is in your chart as your greater malefic, if you're a night chart, a night sect in whole sign astrology, in traditional astrology, he is your greater malefic. And I'm sure you have had to deal with him, not just even a Saturn return, like Saturn in general. It can be very hard because Saturn really wants you to, work hard for what you have so that you can reap the benefits later on. And trust me, I know all about Saturn. I'm a Capricorn rising, so he's my chart ruler, and I have a stellium in my first house. So, whew, I trust me, I get it. So, I don't know. I kind of feel with these two planets conjoining together, but at 0 degrees of Aries, it's two total opposites coming together to form what? Like it's just really interesting to think about. And I wrote on my notes here. I think for the first time we will have to come to terms with our beliefs. And be it spiritual beliefs, be it just beliefs in general, anything that maybe you thought was real is not. And what you and like the total opposite to that, like what you thought was real was not, but what was real was really not real. Like maybe certain things, like I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm kind of sounding crazy right now, but I just want to say, like, things are going to change, and I think they're going to change for the better. So right now, Neptune and Saturn are in the end of Pisces. And if we kind of think about that, Pisces is in like seasonal. Pisces is the end of winter before we go into spring. So it's also like things are dying off. Like we're shedding what doesn't work anymore. And if you think about Aries as ushering in new energy, he's fire, he's not water, he's springtime, he's new. It's going to be different. It's going to be really different. And something about Aries, and I think a lot of people get Aries wrong sometimes because they think, ruled by Mars, Aries is a jackass, or they're just too blunt, and Aries is a jerk. But that has never been my experience with Aries. I don't know. I don't want to say that you've never met an Aries jerk person. There's jerks in every sign, to be honest. But I think the thing about Aries is I have very close friends and family who are Aries. One of my very good friends, she's an Aries rising, and she's one of the most confident women you could ever meet. And my own mother is an Aries sun, and she just tells it how it is. But I never take it as a way as it's offending me. It's just, it comes from a good place. And both of those women who are Aries have kind of taught me, like, what does it mean to be a confident person? And that is something that I've had difficulty with. But so Aries is confident, it's individual, it doesn't need anybody else because it has what it needs already. It's the energy is just momentum, forward momentum going. And so, yeah, Aries is the individual. Where if you think of like Libra being the total opposite of Aries, Libra is more like communal, community and getting along with everybody, where Aries doesn't need that. Aries is individual. And if we're thinking of Neptune as like spirituality, I think I would hope it's finally coming time to where we realize that we do not need anybody or anything to tell us what's inside, what we know, who we are. We can follow our own intuition and not always be asking others for their opinion. Because Aries is not about that. Aries is totally about knowing who they are, what they want, and going after it. So if we think about that in a spiritual sense, then it definitely means that hopefully we will start to see that we do not need to, you know, base everything on what others tell us. What others tell us is the right way or the right thing to do or whatever. Like we are the key. We hold the answers. And you know, maybe that's what Aries will be ushering in, to let people know that our intuition is what will guide us. We don't need others. And so I just kind of wanted to say also, like, not in a narcissistic way, like, so I'm sure there will be some of that, like there was this year. But when I say an individual, as in not like me, like I only care about myself, or only if it hurts me is when I care what's happening. I'm not talking like that. I'm talking about the individual as, if you don't feel comfortable within your own decision making, or if you don't feel comfortable within your own self, maybe now we will start to see that if I just sit with myself for a little bit longer, I can see, I can hold myself accountable, I can take responsibility, Saturn, and I can, not be a victim to circumstance or to somebody else. I can make my decisions that's best for me and then best for everybody else within the community. And I don't know, maybe that's, hoping for too much, but you know, this past year has been kind of weird and crazy. So why not hope? Why not hope that we will get to a place where we can start to see that we hold the answers. We can be responsible and we can care about ourselves first and then care about others after that. And I think that Neptune and Saturn meeting in Aries, 0 degrees, it's going to be a totally new energy. And wouldn't that be a totally new energy? This is just me speculating, hoping, praying. But I think I'm excited. And it's going to be interesting. So, let's see. Yeah, I mean that's kind of all I really wanted to say. Just that it's a totally new energy that's coming. Some people even say like maybe it's going to be like 5D. Maybe we're all going to be moving on into the 5D expression. And why the hell not? I don't know. I think this is going to be so new for all of us that maybe we will. Maybe everything we've been going through, you know, seeing some of the horrible things that have happened this past year, 2025, that maybe this next year will start coming to a time where we actually do start caring a little bit more for each other and knowing that we are guided by our own intuition. So that's kind of all I really wanted to say. I really do wish you a happy new year, happy 2026, and I hope everything that you wish for in this new year comes to fruition. And you guys stay safe out there. And I'm really excited to make more content. I've been really busy and I'm hoping that I can squeeze a little bit more videos in and talk more about astrology. Oh, that was another thing I wanted to mention. So Aries as well, like in medical astrology, represents the head and the adrenals. So I just wanted to put out there, of course, I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but for adrenals, like plant allies that you might want to look into are things for your nervous system. So I know like this year has been kind of hard on a lot of people's nervous system. So I would just say like continue on with taking, if you are, or looking into, always ask your doctor, of course. But like adaptogens, like there's a lot of adaptogens out there that help your body adapt to stressors out in the environment. So let's see, like there's a lot of mushrooms and different types of herbs that help, like that are adaptogenic herbs. And then also nervines are really great for the nervous system if you are still experiencing a lot of stress or nervous energy, anxiety. So it's just something to look into. I kind of didn't want to get into like what type of herbs right now, but yeah, if you want me to make some more videos on what kind of herbs kind of help with those kinds of things, let me know in the comments, and please like, share, subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And Happy New Year, everybody. Love you all. Bye.